Every time a buyer calls and doesn't get an answer, that's a lost opportunity. In real estate, timing is everything, and the first to respond usually wins. In this video, I'll show you how to build an AI powered voice agent that answers inbound calls from property buyers, shares property info, and even books the call with your team automatically. This system works 24/7, personalizes responses based on zip code and preferences, and integrates seamlessly with a calendar or CRM. Alright, so let's go over a quick demo to showcase this in action.
Hello, this is Adrian from Mob Realty. How can I help you today?
Hey Adrian, I would like to go over some properties with you. Can you help me explore?
Got it. Are you looking to rent, invest, or buy a property?
Invest.
Great choice. Let me guide you to some investment property options. Hang tight for a moment. First, could you tell me the area or location you're interested in investing in?
Bronx.
The Bronx, got it. Now, what type of property are you looking for? For example, a condo, apartment, townhouse, or something else?
Apartment.
An apartment in the Bronx, perfect. How many bedrooms are you looking for?
3 bedrooms.
3-bedroom apartment, noted. Are there any specific amenities or features you're looking for? For example, parking, gym, or anything else?
A gym and a balcony is a must for me.
I've got a gym and balcony are must-have. Lastly, what's your budget for this investment?
$600,000.
Thanks for sharing all the details. Let me summarize. You're looking for a 3-bedroom apartment in the Bronx with a gym and a balcony, and your budget is $600,000. Let me find some options for you. One moment. I found a property that might interest you. Here's the detail. Address: 968 Maple Avenue, Bronx, New York. Type: apartment room, 3 bedrooms. Features: gym, public swimming pool, balcony. Price: $650,000. This property slightly exceeds your budget, but includes all the features you requested. Would you like to explore more options, or does this one catch your eye?
Oh yeah, this looks great. Can we book a tour for this property?
Fantastic choice. Let me arrange a tour for you. One moment. Could you let me know your preferred date and time for the tour?
Can we do tomorrow at 6 p.m.?
Let me check if the slot is available for tomorrow at 6 p.m. Perfect. The slot for tomorrow at 6 p.m. is available. Could you please share your name so I can finalize the booking?
John.
Thanks, John. Let me finalize the booking for you. One moment. Your tour has been successfully booked for tomorrow at 6 p.m., John. If you need anything else, feel free to reach out. Have a great day.
So that booked us a tour immediately, and it went over our requirements. Even though our budget was a bit below 650K, but it's flexible in that way, just like a real agent would do. It's not statically looking for prices. It's dynamic. It looks for properties with our requirements, our needs, type, apartment, address, features, and it books us a call immediately without a single delay. So right now we'll be going over some pain points which this can solve and some outcomes. Alright, so let's go over some pain points that real estate agents usually face in the sector. So there can be cases where the agents can't always answer their calls. It might be due to any number of reasons. It might be off hours, that they might be offices might be off. It might be staff shortage, or it even might be increase in demand that the agents can't handle all the calls, all the requirements. And the buyers will always want instant answers on the property information, and if they don't, that can lead to hot lead going cold immediately, which can lead to loss of revenue, loss of leads, which no one wants. And some benefits that this voice agent can solve for businesses can be it is 24/7, so it is available 24/7, fully CRM connected, or any other data application that you want it to be connected to. It's fully accurate. It will always fetch latest data. It will answer queries according to your needs. It will book appointments instantly without any human involvement, or even if we want human involvement to be done, that can also be possible. Even some businesses do not want it 100% automation, that they want some human loop. So that is also fine. That can be done. So these all can lead to increase in conversion because the users don't have to wait for the agents to call back. They can get instant response to the queries, and this can lead to increase in conversion. It can also reduce workloads for agents, so they focus on hot leads only. They focus on personal relationships with the clients. They focus on the work that actually matters to them and closing deals, which can which can lead to increase in revenue and reduce workloads for agents. So that's a plus for both of them. So these are some pain points and some outcomes, and it's very beneficial for any business to implement this. So we'll go system architecture for this next. All right, so let's go system architecture for this voice agent and the automations involved. So we'll just go over a high level overview. After some time, I'll go over each and every automation in detail and the prompt in detail, what is happening. All right, so let's start with when the user calls. Before picking up, it will check if the data exists in our database. Again, this is the optional part. Many businesses don't want this, some do. This is just for personal greetings. Before the agent picks up, it will call a webhook, basically a API, which will check the number, and from that number, it will just check the user details. So, example, this it will check for the number, and if the number matches, it will use the name for the greetings. So if I show you the prompt just quickly, it will use the customer information, name, email, and according to conditions that we put, it will personalize the greetings. Oh yeah. And once the greeting is done, it will go the user's caller's intent. That is what the purpose of his call is, and his requirements. So on the next state, it will ask the users about the property requirements. Actually, before that, it will get the caller's intent. So if they're looking for rent, investment, or buy a property. In this case, it's a small example. So we just have one state, but businesses can extend the state in this. So let's say for rent, invest in buying a property, or any other intent, we can have multiple states and multiple automations for each and every one, or maybe they have a multiple databases for different kind of intents. So that's for that. We will get the caller's intent, and right now it's just one intent, so we'll go to the next step. We will get our users requirements. So in this case, in this example, we will the AI will ask what the user's area is, and according to the area, it will filter out only those data. So right now the database is just small, just 5 properties. But imagine if the data has like 10,000 properties, and we say Bronx, so it will first of all filter only for Bronx and get those properties. After that, so this is the base requirement, the area filtration. After that, it will ask for each and every requirement. So type, rooms, features. Features is kind of like a optional but dynamic, so it doesn't have to be exactly matched. So let's say if I'm looking for property in Bronx apartment, it's a type of apartment, 3 rooms. But let's say I want hardwood floors and I have a budget of $600,000. It will still fetch us this property because our requirements are closely matching with this, even though this doesn't have hardwood floors. It will still fetch us this because number of rooms is more important than, let's say, hardwood floors. So it will get the rooms, type of home, amenities, budget, and it will call the database to get the properties. And then once we get the property, it will ask us if it's according to our needs. It will give us all the details, and then it will ask us for the whether we want to book a tour for the property. Usually people do. So we will go to the next state, that is first of all checking the availability. Let's say if I want it to be tomorrow at 5 p.m, but tomorrow is not 5 p.m, the slot isn't available for the real estate agent. It will automatically check for other availabilities after 5 p.m. So In our example specifically, it is checking for I think around 3 to 4 slots. After, let's say, if the base slot isn't available, it checks for 3 to 4 slots and give the users the extra number of slots. So it keeps on going. Let's say it keeps on going till the user is satisfied with the slot. So it's not static, it's totally dynamic and customizable. So once the user has gotten the availability, let's say tomorrow 7 o'clock is available, voice agent will ask the user for his name, his or her name, and the time. And we can also ask him for his email if that's required. In this case, it's not, but that's also there. So it will ask him for his name, and according to the time which we gave for checking the availability, it will call the same time for booking the appointment. So this is the just a simple architecture. Alright, so after this we'll be going over the automations in detail and the prompt. Alright, so now we'll be going through the system prompt for our AI voice agent. And before that, if you guys want to follow along, all the prompts and all the automations will be in the description down below. So you can just grab it from there. Alright, so what's a system prompt? System prompt is basically a set of instructions that defines the agent's behavior when it's talking to the user. So in our case, we have certain tags for our system prompt. Let's go through them one by one. This is the role which defines what type of role it's acting as, this particular voice agent. In our case, it's AI voice assistant, for example, real estate agency. For specifics, these are some specific conditions or any case it comes up that we wanted to always remember. This is for that. If you want to add any information, we add it over here. Example, let's say if a user is angry or annoyed for any reason, or he wants to talk to a real human agent, we will transfer it to the real human agent by calling this function transfer call. All right, and if we have the username in our data, we will use that for a personal connection. So we'll address the user by his or her name. And coming to notes, these are some notes like how we want the user to talk throughout the conversation. So stuff such as be concise, be conversational, like use everyday language, like we are talking to a friend but be professional at the same time. Steer the conversation back on track if we are heading off track, or if the user is heading off track. Avoid repeating the same information, and this is just a prompt technique that I always use, and this helps a ton. So this is basically you will be fired and the company will be ruined if you lie or make up any information that is not true. So this prevents the agent from making any false information. So let's say if a user asks a query and if the agent is not sure about the answer, it won't make up on the spot. It will tell the user that he will get back to it, or we will transfer it to a human agent that can answer the call. So this is for that. Response guidelines is basically how we want the agent to respond, like stay in character, ensure a smooth flow throughout the conversation. These are just some example scripts, and this helps return in certain cases where we want the agent to respond in a certain structured manner. Cases such as inbound calls, cases such as outbound calls through a list of users, right? Certain cases where we want the user to follow script, we attach the examples. So here, if you have a certain script, you can attach the examples. So example over here, we are letting the agent know that if we have the information, always address the user by his name if we have that data. So these are just some examples going through certain scenarios that we want the agent to remember. And in this particular Retell AI platform, we have advantage that we have different states. So states such as recommending property, scheduling to the intro. If we don't want it to be if we don't want the prompt to be super long and we don't want it to be in just one prompt, we can separate it into different states. That makes it very easy for us and easy for the AI as well. So it doesn't, we don't feed a super long prompt at once and it doesn't hallucinate anything or it doesn't make any mistakes. So this helps in that also. So let's go through them one by one, different states. So this is a warm intro state. So over here, we are creating the first step is creating the caller. If we have the data for the username, if the user is the old lead, in case we will use his or her name, but if not, we will use a general greeting. After that, we will identify the caller's intent, what for what he or she is calling for rent, investing, or buying a property. And based on the intent, we will be transferring it to the next step or any other state. So in this case, based on the intent, we are transferring it to recommend property state. So we are recommending the properties, and if the call is hesitant or not interested or needs something else, we will call back or we will transfer it to a human agent depending on what the user wants. So moving to next step, next state is recommend properties. So over here we are basically just recommending the properties. We ask the user about the requirements that includes area, number of rooms, type of home, amenities, and budget. And once we get all the information, we call this function get properties, and this is the function definition. We are sending area, features, rooms, type, and budget. And this is what type of data it is. These are all strings. If you want, let's say, budget to be a number, not a string, we can do that over here. And description is what type of data it is. This is for the agent to know. So we get the properties by calling this function. Again, I will go through each and every automation in detail after the prompting. So once we get the required properties according to the requirements, we will let the user know about the properties. And once the user is satisfied with any of the properties, we will move to the next state, that is the schedule tour. If the user wants to schedule a tour for the property. So in this particular state, schedule tour, the function is just to check for slots and book the appointment. So we will ask the user about their preferred date and time, and we will call the check availability function with the data about the time and the format, how we want to pass the date and time, right? And after we get a free slot, we will ask the user for the name to book the slot, right? And if the user is satisfied with it, satisfied with the slot, we'll ask he or she for the name, and we'll call the book appointment function. In this function, the definition is we are passing the name of the user and we are passing the time that we called for checking the check availability function. So that same time we'll pass for the book appointment, and once the appointment is booked, we'll let the user know and we'll end the call. But in case in check availability function that slot is not free, the agent will return us extra 3 slots for the user to decide, and based on that we will call the book availability book appointment function again based on the slots that the user wants. So this is the states for voice agent. So next we will be going through the automations. Alright, so we'll now be going through all the automations. So the first one is the property recommender. So in this case, first of all, let me explain you what a webhook is. Webhook basically connects 2 points together. So in this case, our function over here, a custom function for recommending the properties, we have this particular URL. This URL is the same as this URL, the webhook URL. So basically, it connects our Retell AI custom function to our automation. And when we send our details such as area, features, rooms, type, and budget, we get it over here. And with that data, we can do anything and then respond back to our AI agent over here. So this is the flow. In this case, we are getting all the data that we sent, the area, the property details. In the next node, the Airtable, where we save the property database, we have this, and we are filtering by basically the area, whatever area is, in this case is Bronx. And if I show you the argument, so these are all the details that we are sending it to the automation, right? So in this case, we are filtering by the area. Next step, when we get all the data, right, we put it in a manageable format like this. So we put it in a variable called data that we can easily use it later on. This is what the aggregate does, just aggregates it into one particular point, however we want to format the data. In this particular AI model, this is the main recommender. So this is a system prompt, right? So we are saying you are an experienced real estate agent. Your role is to recommend properties. And if you find multiple properties, return all of them. This is the system prompt, and this is the user prompt that we are sending. So we are sending all the details that we have gotten from the AI agent over here: property type, number of rooms, features, budget. And these are the properties to filter from, the previously recommended properties that we got in the Bronx area. So in this case, two. So from these two properties, we are telling the AI to give us the recommendation for our property, whatever uh, features we have selected. So it will give us this particular property, the recommended properties, and this particular property we will respond back to the webhook. And this is what the AI agent will tell us, that he has found this particular property, right? Then the next step is it will ask us to schedule a call and book a call, check availability. So same case, for check availability, we are calling a separate webhook, and for book appointment also we're calling a different webhook. So if I go to the check availability webhook, this is the webhook for that. We are getting all the data, and if I show you the execution, okay, so in this particular AI model, we are just asking the model to format the date in a particular format, in ISO 8601 format, in this particular format. And the format in which the AI agent is sending us the data is in this format. Let's like Monday 7/4/2025 7:35 p.m. and we would like to be formatted in this. So after that, the AI returns us this particular data in the format that we want, right? After that, this particular data, we check the availability in a Google Calendar. Using this operation, availability, we are connecting it to a Google Calendar and our particular account, and the start date is whatever start date we have, and plus 1 hour, right? So 1 hour meeting, so we will check that availability, and it's a if else. So basically, if there is no availability, it will follow this condition. If there is availability, it will just return us this particular response to the AI agent. It will tell us, great, this time slot is selected, let me go ahead and book it for you. So once we return the response, this particular response, we will call the book appointment automation with this particular webhook URL, and it will come over here and it will send us the data, name and time. So if I show you the execution for this, this is the webhook and this is the OpenAI model. In this for this, we are basically telling the model that we want it again to be in a particular format, because the data that we are getting is in this format. Monday 7/4/2025, 7:35, 7:37 p.m. in this format, and we want it to be in this format. So the AI returns us in this format. This is the task for this particular agent. For this particular node, we just wanted to output the time we previously had in this particular node plus 1 hour. So this just output us the plus 1 hour, right? So you'll be provided with the time. Your task will be to output the time after 1 hour. So this is the only task it has. Once we have the original time and the time after 1 hour, we just have to create an event in our Google Calendar. So in this particular node, we are putting the start time as our original time and end time as the previous node's response, which was the original time plus 1 hour. So it will create us a event for 1 hour. And this is the summary, whatever detail we want. In this case, we are putting the name of the user, which we saw in the calendar event. And then we responded to this. Your appointment has been successfully booked, and we get the respond over here, which the AI agent responds to us. So this is the whole flow. Again, these all automations, right? Everything, and every prompt will be in the description, so you can just grab it and play around with it. Alright, so that was the whole flow. We went through the system prompt, we went through all the states, we went through each and every automation that includes property recommender, checking for availability, and booking the appointment. So this type of voice agent can increase our lead conversion by 10 folds, and it's available 24/7. So if you enjoyed this, like the video, and all the resources like system prompt, all the automations will be in the description below. So you can just grab it. And if you want any automation like this, custom build for your business, just head down to the description and book a strategy call with me. All right. Thank you.